huge round of applause to bauma CONEXPO India and the Construction Federation of India for this strategic partnership. Can we please welcome our dignitaries with a round of applause? Thank you. We welcome Mr. Ajit Gulabchand, President of the Construction Federation of India and Chairman of Hindustan Construction Company Limited. Welcome, sir. Mr. Vinayak Pai, Vice President of the Construction Federation of India and MD and CEO of Tata Projects. Round of applause, please. Mr. Akhil Gupta, Director and CEO, Shapurji Palonji and Company Limited. Thank you. Mr. T. Sri Raman, VP and Head, Residential Spaces, Buildings and Factories, Larsen and Toubro Limited. Welcome, sir. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Bhupinder Singh to address this August gathering and take us through the key highlights of this strategic partnership.
Good evening, everyone. Distinguished dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, our dear members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of bauma CONEXPO India, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's event. For me, it's a moment of great pleasure and honor to be part of this MOU signing ceremony with CFI, which is Construction Federation of India, and between CFI and BCI, which is bauma CONEXPO India. Both these organizations have a common vision, that is, how do we enable, support and promote the interest of construction industry in India. As we all know, construction industry is a complex space with project delays, with payment challenges, cost inflation, technology upgrade, impact on the local communities. There are a lot of moving pieces, constantly emphasizing the need of alignment, dialogue, and exchange between the industry stakeholders. And that's precisely where bauma CONEXPO India comes and plays a vital role. It's a platform which is active in India for more than 1.5 decades. It's hosting close to 42,000 participants from more than 80 countries. A very robust and vital reflection of what the industry wants and what are the pain points of the industry. In the last edition, we could bring almost the entire ecosystem of the industry at the exhibition from the government side, both from the center and state, from the industry participation side, the demand and supply side, from the media to the academia, all of them there not only witnessing the latest technological changes from across the world, but also ideating on the most pressing issues the industry is facing, solutioning for those issues. And all of this leads into a lot of meaningful handshakes, a lot of unlocked business opportunities, and as a whole industry moving forward. So keeping it short, I think today is a great beginning. It's a right push in the right direction, and I'm looking forward in the coming weeks and months to further ideate with the team CFI as to how do we operationalize our vision, our mission, our plans for the coming year. Thank you so much. And before I conclude, I'll ask Shri Gulabchand ji to share a few insights on this cooperation. I've done your job. Thanks.
It's my pleasure, on behalf of CFI, to sign this memorandum of understanding with bauma. Bauma, equipment makers, those who display that equipment, and the construction industry have a very long-standing relationship. But one of the more important aspects of this has been that a lot of innovation in this industry has been taking place in isolation. The equipment makers are constantly trying to improve equipment and then convincing the construction industry to say that this is better. Substantial. Then there have been many other changes in types of materials that are used in construction. Though of course concrete and steel remain the mainstay of construction, there is a lot more equipment coming up, a lot more methods of building things that have come up. And as a result of which, we now need a deeper collaboration between construction equipment maker and the industry. There are also different forms of building and construction that are now coming up. And it's time for this to sort of crystallize at least in one platform where we come together to promote the ideas of how to modernize. And when I mean modernize, I don't mean just modernize, making it look better, but to make it more productive, make it more sturdy, so that we can deliver infrastructure faster, cheaper. That is the ultimate goal, and therefore we might need the help of the equipment makers who will get their business from us if we can do some advocacy with government to improve the way infrastructure is built, improve the conditions under which infrastructure should be built, and understand in the true spirit of partnership with construction industry, with concessionaires, with equipment makers, in order to deliver a superior product that will engage us in a lot of dialogue. It's not easy to deal with government. They do listen, and it is important for us to have a good advocacy. And the more people who are part of the construction industry, who are earning their bread, every product we make, the equipment industry makes money too. So we need that advocacy in order to show how together we are able to give you something better. But we now need some changes so we can operate a little better, breathe a little easier, and have risk shared a little fairly. So I think these are things that we need to bring about. And I'm so glad that we went to bauma in Delhi early this year. And I'm looking forward to more cooperation in this field. And well, let's hope that this memorandum of understanding leads to better advocacy between construction industry and the equipment makers, as well as with our clients for whom we need this equipment. So I think it's a very good new beginning. There was a time we went to bauma because it was once in 3 years in Europe, somewhere far away, and completely enthralled by what you saw. And now it's part of our own system here. So much so that when I went to bauma this earlier this year, every displayer had one electric machine. So it still may not be enough. We need to go a long way before electrical vehicles, electrical machines will actually operate on our side. But nevertheless, it's a beginning, and so good a beginning that every displayer felt it necessary to have at least one electric equipment. That tells you the power of how these displays, these collaborations can bring about changes with speed, and also changes that are necessary, transparently done, open to everybody, and the advocacy of the joint features of those who make this, the equipment makers, the materials makers, and designers, to do the advocacy with government. How can we improve our productivity so we can deliver to you infrastructure, faster, quicker, cheaper. But thank you very much. It was wonderful. We had a very good discussion, and now we are ready for what are we going to have some question and answer. We're going straight to the drinks.
And a huge opportunity for all of us, the construction company, the EPC companies, the equipment manufacturers, but also a huge challenge, because we have to build all of this sustainably, and we have to build all of this predictably, because the challenges in the past have been of time and cost overruns. So how can we all work together to mitigate that? And in addition to that, I think the industry is facing another significant problem of shortage of labor at this point in time, which can effectively be addressed only if we all come together and co-create solutions for our customers. And that can happen when organizations like CFI bring together the construction companies to ideate and create solutions and discuss how we can do it together, and also involve organizations like bauma, CONEXPO, and our partners of equipment manufacturers who have on their own been innovating quite a lot. It was evident on at the expo at the beginning of the year. And how do we put all of that together? And I think this partnership will really help us to drive predictability, sustainability, and technology in this industry, which I think is the most critical ingredient for us to build India sustainably. So I'm very glad that we are here and doing this together, and look forward to really achieving something and some meaningful results in daily coming.
Thank you, Mr. Pai. I'd like to hear a few words from Mr. Akhil Gupta.
Hi, good evening everybody. I'm very excited and very happy to be part of this ceremony. If you see the way the construction industry is growing, so are the challenges have been growing. And it is very appropriate that in order to address those challenges, we have talked about sustainability, we have talked about the quality of product that we deliver to our clients. There is a need that all stakeholders in the industry, they come and collaborate together. There was a time when our industry was highly labor intensive. Now there are times now when we always feel acute shortage of the manpower. So there is an urgent need to mechanize, to improve the quality of efficiency of our operations, to see that we provide the construction equipment that would match the challenging requirements of the speed at which we want to construct the infrastructure in the country. The expectations from the client are high, and so are the expectations from the society at large, that we prepare a quality infrastructure at a very rapid pace. The way the industry has grown and has cut down the timelines of the project delivery for the last 20-30 years, the expectations of the society has increased from us. And it is very apt that today we have signed a MOU with bauma, and I'm quite sure this will facilitate much more fruitful discussions, which will help in improving the quality of the equipments, the resources, which will help in ultimately improving the quality and the time of delivery of the infrastructure equipment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akhil Gupta. A few words from you, Sri Ramanji from L&T.
Very good evening to all. They say necessity is the mother of invention. We have a lot of needs in the construction and infrastructure sector, but it takes time to reach to the manufacturers, and in that regard, I would thank Ajit sir and Mr. Vinayak Pai to, in a very short span of time, to have tied up with bauma CONEXPO, where both the end users and the manufacturers can meet and discuss and come out with what are all the requirements that the construction industry faces in terms of newer technologies to do things faster, at a better quality, at a better speed, So a lot more such equipments which are now there in use have all come because of these expos which have been done in elsewhere in the world like bauma, etc. But yes, of late with bauma CONEXPO in India for the last 6 or 7 seasons now, a lot of these things have aided in the construction industry to do things faster. I hope that with this collaboration, it will be much more faster to bring in a sea change in the infrastructure industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all our eminent dignitaries for your kind words. We now open the floor to questions from the media, requesting you to tell us where you are from on the mic. Can we have the mics around? Just raise your hand. Yes.
सर मेरा सवाल है कि इस समय निर्माण कंपनियों के लिए सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है?
कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री का सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज 2 है कि जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हम सरकार के साथ सही करते हैं, क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सरकार ही बनाती है, उसमें रिस्क अपॉर्चनमेंट थोड़ी इवन हो जाए। आज ज़्यादा रिस्क कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री पर डाली जा रही है, उसकी वजह से आगे जाके काम रुकते हैं, पैसा कम रहता और फिर कॉस्ट बढ़ने लगती है। एक दूसरा, एक स्पिरिट ऑफ पार्टनरशिप होने की ज़रूरत है, जिसकी वजह से, क्योंकि एक क्लाइंट है जो इम्पोर्टेंट क्लाइंट है, मगर अल्टीमेटली Indian public is the client. On the other side, there are many suppliers, equipment, material, design, process control of all kinds of construction activity. All have to come together. तो आज दिक्कत एक ही है, वो हम सरकार से ये बात छेड़ी है, इंक्रीमेंटली इसमें इम्प्रूवमेंट आ रही है, वो बातचीत करते हैं, ये आज सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत है। तो ये प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ाने के लिए जैसे इक्विपमेंट अच्छी होनी चाहिए, मटेरियल अच्छा होना चाहिए, कंस्ट्रक्शन सिस्टम अच्छी होनी चाहिए, वैसे हमारे क्लाइंट ने भी हमारी जो रिस्क है कंस्ट्रक्शन करने में, वो शेयर करने में एक नया दौर खोले और नई तरह से दे।
दूसरा सवाल है कि कई खबरें पिछले दिनों आई कि पुल बन रहे हैं और बाद में ढह जाते हैं बहुत जल्दी। पुल जो बनते हैं, कहीं ब्रिज, फ्लाईओवर ब्रिज या पुल बनते हैं, कई बार उनके जल्दी ढह जाने की, गिर जाने की बातें सामने आई हैं। तो इस तरफ आप लोगों का किस तरह से समाधान करेंगे इस समस्या का, या क्या सोचा है इस बारे में?
See, one, why a bridge has fallen, what has happened, is an independent inquiry, and I cannot answer for that. But having said that, थोड़ा सा proportion देखिए, कितने ब्रिजेस बांधे जा रहे हैं, कितने रोड्स बांधे जा रहे हैं, कितने टनल बांधे जा रहे हैं, और उसमें से ये जो गिर गया, ये हो गया, ये कितना है कि कोई भी इतना बड़ा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर करने के लिए जो उसमें क्षमता रहती है, वो है, हो रहा है। अगर आप भी एक ब्रिज गिरने की वजह से पूरे सब ब्रिजेस गिर रहे हैं, ऐसे बन सकते हो। आप थोड़ा प्रोपोर्शन भी देख लो। अब वो जो टनल में ये हुआ, ये कुछ डिजाइन का होगा, कुछ भी हुआ, 40 दिन में चला था, तब कोई समझता है सब टनल गिर रहे, तो नहीं है। तो ये भी थोड़ा समझना चाहिए, और इसको इम्प्रूव करने के लिए अभी डिजिटाइजेशन की वजह से नए इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, इक्विपमेंट्स हमारे ज़्यादा सेंसिटिव हो गए हैं, हमारे हाउ टू कंस्ट्रक्ट मेथडोलॉजी भी इम्प्रूव होती जा रही है, और ये हर दिन नया नया होते जाएगा, और एक दिन ये बहुत कम हो जाएगा।
थैंक यू सो मच।
I would just add to what the question and what Mr. Gulabchand has said. You know, when we say the bridges are falling, the immediate impression that we get that the quality of the bridge was not good. If you see all those bridges which you feel that have fallen, they have not fallen while the bridge was completed, constructed and was put to use. Most of these bridges have fallen when they were under construction. I just not proud about that. The society is expecting from us to cut down the timelines of construction. Earlier, the bridges which were constructed in 5 years, 6 years, today they expect us to do in 2 years. Now, what happens is when there is so much of pressure on the construction companies, the site engineers, the project managers to deliver the project, such projects on time, sometimes some human laxity may come in. They haven't fallen down because the quality of the work was good. Maybe during the process, and they are, now we talked about the association with bauma. High quality equipments are involved while constructing those bridges. And sometimes a lapse may occur, human lapse may occur while constructing those bridges. So if you will look at the bridges that have fallen down, they have not fallen down when the bridge was completed and open to traffic. It has fallen down while it was doing construction. So this point also we should bear in mind. Thank you.
Once we do that, please understand something. We are all committed to, in our own interest and that of the country, to produce faster with better quality and cheaper. That does not mean that we build so cheap that things will fall. Our whole objective is to try and get there. And that endeavor has improved things considerably in the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I remember in the 90s it was not easy. As compared to that, today it's so much easier. You should have seen, any one of you don't recall Bombay, every building that was coming up had a bamboo scaffolding. The finish was horrible. The secondary mixer was on the side. Dogs were pissing all over the place, which is very bad for concrete. And now you see any building that's coming up, it's coming up faster, you see the finish on it, you see the thing. So these are improvements that are happening, and that's how things improve. So this faster construction, quicker construction, actually a boon, because clients' interest in finishing a job quickly always helps.
Of the industry, how the industry is doing. To give you a simple example, when you go to an auto expo, it in a way reflects how the auto industry is doing. So similarly, when it comes to bauma, while it plays a vital role on multiple levels, it presents a big picture of where the industry is heading towards. From trends, from automation, from IoT, whether it's going the electric way, and how is it helping various stakeholders within the industry to do their job better, right? Are we able to measure it? I don't have a specific answer to that. But because you have a bigger picture in front of you, you can also, your ability to put or pinpoint the pressure points is very high. For example, some of the dignitaries mentioned about the skilled labor problem. So how do you address that as a platform? Then becomes a very high priority topic for us. So for example, during our trade show, we focus on crane operators' skill sets. We work very closely with the government, with the local associations, bodies which are focusing on skill development. So that's one example. I can give you multiple examples. So it is aligned with the industry, it moves along with the industry, and constantly look at the areas with which we can help the industry. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. I have another question. Do you have any initiatives towards sustainability and eco-friendly projects?
Yeah. As I said, the industry is constantly innovating. So there are projects related to sustainability, right? And there are many projects which results in overall carbon reduction. And at this point in time, if you really see, most of the companies have 30 to 40% of their business doing projects which are sustainable. But decarbonizing sites and making the sites themselves more sustainable is the next effort and the next level at which the industry is thinking. So we are using biodiesel on equipment, blending that with the normal diesel which we have. We are using renewable energy on our sites, solar lighting, and we are also using recycling water. So most of this there is now a thinking that the construction sites themselves have to be more sustainable in terms of power, water, energy, taking care of Mother Earth. So that's something the industry is also focusing on.
Thank you.
For example, some of the practices like net consumption of water. The water that you use at a construction site, you restore it by building, what do you call those, water? Water harvesting. So by the time the site is ready, or even 2-3 years after that, it will have restored the water that is used. The simple practices like this also make a lot of difference. Use of fly ash actually came up, which reduced the content of cement and therefore carbon footprint. There are many such things that are happening. Equipments are doing different kind of job, much better job. So it's a continuous process. And to be honest, we can't display a construction site in an exhibition except with pictures, which is not that exciting. But equipment displays for the industry at one place the level of its modernity, the level of its color, and what it is doing. One electric vehicle in a bauma exhibition conveys more sustainability than all the sustainability practices we follow, which nobody can see.
Sure. Thank you.
Do we have more questions?
नमस्ते। प्रेस नोट में एक लिखा हुआ है ज़्यादातर बांध निर्माण का। बांध निर्माण आप कौन से राज्य में ज़्यादा डेवलप करना चाहते हैं? डैम बांध निर्माण जो भूस्खलन हो गया है, पानी की कमी हुई है, और कौन से राज्य में आप ज़्यादा करना चाहेंगे कि वहाँ ज़्यादा हो जाएगा?
The largest store of dams is required in the Himalayan range because there is snow-fed rivers and therefore can continuously give you water every year. Rain-fed rivers sometimes don't have. At the same time, rain-fed rivers flow normally through a relatively slowly sloping tunnel, whereas the Himalayan waters come down mountainous, so it gives you a head to create electricity. But rest of the plateau of India is also now coming up for what is known as pump storage schemes, where you pump up the water and bring it down and use it for generating electricity. And it goes back again. So part of the water which is there is used for generating the electricity to pump it up, and the pump storage scheme creates it. Many such dams are now being thought of much more because of the green nature of hydropower.
Thank you. मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ सर कि राजस्थान में आपको पता ही है पानी की समस्या हो ही रही है, और अगर आपको समय और मौका मिल गया वहाँ कुछ करने का तो आप कैसा रहेगा आपका टाइम?
साहब ये जो डैम 10 डैम बांधने से पानी की समस्या जाने वाली नहीं है, उसके लिए और भी चीज़ें हैं। हम एग्रीकल्चर में ज़्यादा पानी यूज़ करते हैं, हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के लिए ज़्यादा पानी यूज़ करते हैं। सब चीज़ों में एक ओवरऑल जब आप ये देखोगे कि इसमें पानी को कैसे कम करना है और यहाँ पानी और आने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए, ये प्रकल्प एक बड़ा है। ये एक सिर्फ कंस्ट्रक्शन वाले से डैम कितना बांधोगे, कितना पानी दोगे, उससे नहीं हल होगा।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
हाईलाइट कि हम साथ में काम करेंगे, कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री की समस्याओं को हमारे क्लाइंट्स के सामने लाना, हमारे पब्लिक को बताना कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम कितना नया काम कर रहे हैं, नए और इंटर इंडस्ट्री हमारा जो डायलॉग होगा उससे नई इक्विपमेंट, किस तरह की इक्विपमेंट जरूरी है। जैसे टोयोटा कंपनी ने स्टील कंपनियों के साथ किया कि 8 साल के बाद हम एक गाड़ी बनाना चाहते हैं जिसमें हमारा वेट 30% कम हो और ये 20% स्ट्रॉन्गर हो, आप बना सकते हो क्या ऐसा स्टील? वैसे हम पूछें और बाuma के इक्विपमेंट वाले इसके ऊपर रिसर्च करके करें। इस तरह की कोलैबोरेशन बढ़ती जाएगी इस जॉइंट वेंचर, इस कोलैबोरेशन की वजह से। और
एक चीज मेजर जो है, काफी गुलाबचंद जी ने बताया वो चीज़ें हमने बात की है, लेकिन इनोवेशन ये कॉम्बिनेशन, ये दोनों ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के कॉम्बिनेशन का इनोवेशन एक बड़ा हिस्सा होने वाला है, बिकॉज इंडस्ट्री को आज इनोवेशन की जरूरत है और वो ये कॉम्बिनेशन से काफ़ी हद तक हम कर पाएंगे।
So, एक और चीज़ जो कि बाउमा की स्ट्रेंथ है वो है ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट, बिकॉज बाउमा हम लोग वर्ल्ड वाइड करते हैं। सो ये जो इंडिया स्टोरी है इसको हम स्ट्रांगली आउट ऑफ इंडिया लेके जाएं और बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट इनोवेशंस लाइक मिस्टर पाई मेंशन नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम इंडिया बट आउटसाइड इंडिया एंड ग्लोबल पार्टनरशिप फॉर्मेशन फॉर आवर इंडियन इंडस्ट्री, ये एक और फोकस है हमारा लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए। थैंक्स।
Huge round of applause, please. Let's wish both parties success and best of luck in this strategic partnership.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody.